All right. Today is the day the Lord has made. It's a beautiful one today. We will rejoice and be glad in it. And today we are doing some trail walking with one of my own dogs, Faithful, today. Leave it. And a girl. She was about to check out some really mucky, yucky water. Don't want that. She's actually just had a little bit of tummy problems last night and today, so just have to be a little bit more vigilant about the stuff she's ingesting. Which, as a side note, one of the things you can use that's helpful is pumpkin. You can mix some pumpkin into their food, and it's good at helping to settle their stomach. This way. I don't want you going down there yet. Helps to settle their stomach and kind of clear up any doggy issues with that. I think we're gonna have to go up this way because this is quite a narrow trail. Yeah, we're gonna go up this way, Faithful. Faithful. Yeah, let's go up this way. So pumpkin, you can just get it at the store in a can. Don't get the flavored kind, just get regular pumpkin and mix some in with their kibble. Since we're also talking tummy issues, if your dog's having some diarrhea and stuff, one of the things you can also do is you can just have them fast a meal to help them work out whatever's in their system. It's totally fine. It's not gonna kill them. It's very similar to when we're not feeling well. We don't necessarily want to be eating a whole bunch of food. We kind of gotta make sure we're hydrated, things like that. Come on, girl. What you doing? Let's go. So we can just do the same thing for our doggies. Fasting a meal can sometimes help them work through it. I always just make sure they're getting water so they're staying hydrated. Anytime you're dealing with diarrhea stuff, gotta make sure hydration's important. So there's your diet tip for the day. If you got a dog with some tummy issues. One of the other things I get questions on is puppy training and potty training. What's the best way to get my dog potty trained? And the easy answer is you got to put them on a schedule. And normally, this is not all the time, but normally what I tend to see with owners and puppies is they've done too much too soon. So the dog has too much freedom, not a good set schedule, and so the dog doesn't have enough structure in its life, which can just make potty training that much longer. You can get some water action, go swimming. There it is. So you put your dog on a schedule. Good job, baby. Bet you that feels good. Yeah, you did it. Good girl. All right, come on. So I'm gonna tone on the remote. Good job. Good. Yes. Oh, look at you. Look at you, you hot mess. Yes. Let's go. Hopefully you dry off by the time we're done. So side note on that, and then I'll come back to potty training. but Faithful's up on the e-collar, and I use tone on my e-collar, so she kind of went out of sight when she was swimming. So I hit the tone button here, tone, 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 and that's her cue to recall back to me. So when you do the training right, it works great for stuff like that, and it allows you to do fun stuff like this. You just go on a leash-free walk in the woods and have her go swimming, but come back, which is really nice. So back to potty training and your schedule. You want to, over time, you're trying to get the dog to be on your schedule. So essentially, you're telling the dog when it's time to go to the bathroom outside. And the schedule and the crate does that. So the dog is in a crate for a majority of the time when they're younger, because we want to contain them to, one, keep them out of trouble, two, prevent accidents in the house, because dogs tend not to go to the bathroom in their crate. They will if they're in there too long, so it's not the silver bullet, but it helps keep them from doing that. And it allows us to communicate to the dog, okay, now you've been in there, you've been resting, it's time to come out, go to the bathroom. So when you got like itty bitty puppies, you're doing this more frequently. You might be doing this like every like hour and a half. And then as the puppy grows, their bladder gets stronger, so you can space it out. And you're obviously, some of it's just common sense. Like if you took the dog out, you let it play and go to the bathroom. Good girl. Nice job. You let it play and go to the bathroom. It goes in and it's sleeping. Well, then just let the dog sleep. You know what I mean? You don't have to wake them up to go to the bathroom. But what you're going to be doing is trying to get the dog on a schedule. I'm giving you a very, very loose schedule, but hopefully it kind of teaches the concept of, let's say I get up at 6 in the morning. I'm going to open the crate, put a leash on immediately. No leash free time yet. Take the dog out, probably on a 15-foot, 20-foot long line, and let the dog go to the bathroom and walk around. And I'm going to do that for, maybe when they're, super itty bitties. We're talking, this is like 8 to 10 weeks. You're going to take them out and you do that, and you're going to be out there for 10-15 minutes. Or if the dog's having a good time and he's got the energy, you can go longer. We just don't want to do too much too soon. And then they're going to come back in, they're going to get some breakfast, they're going to go back in their crate, and they're going to be in there for, say, 2 hours. Although with puppies, this is the caveat, when they're little, all dogs tend to want to have a bowel movement after they eat. And so it's just good, like, even when you have a little bitty puppy, if you feed them breakfast, like wait like half an hour, take them out, see if they have to go, and put them back up. But the key is schedule. So the key is doing this every 2 to 3 hours. You take them out, you have them go to the bathroom, they go back in. And then as the puppy grows, that time period is longer. You start stretching it out. And that's how they learn their bathroom times. So my dogs are, just as an example, between 6 and 7 in the morning, and to faithful. Yeah, Hannah girl, good job, baby. 6 and 7 in the morning. My grandma dogs are older, so they're getting good girl. Recall, boop, 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 tone. Yes. Yeah. What a good girl. Break. So 6 and 7, between 6 and 7 in the morning, up, exercise, walk, eat breakfast. Ideally, between 6 and 7:30 in the morning, they have walked, gone to the bathroom, exercised, gotten breakfast, and they're done. So usually by like 8 o'clock, they're done. I just retired, so my flexible's a little bit more looser. My wife likes to do a lot of the stuff with Faithful here, and then we divide and conquer, and I do stuff with Titus that you've seen on my other videos. He doesn't need to go out as much, which is awesome. So I get to sleep a little bit longer. But it's the same process. Up, go to the bathroom, walk, breakfast, rest. 3-4 hours later, out, exercise, walk, go to the bathroom, rest. 3 hours later, same thing. I call it cycling. So I'm cycling the dogs every 3 to 4 hours. This keeps them tired. This gets them plenty of exercise. This lets me work on my obedience with the dogs, because every time I go out, it can be stuff like this. Granted, Faithful is more advanced, but I'm always doing some kind of obedience, whether that's like recall or don't pull on the leash or whatever it might be. And then once they get the ground rules, it's great. They can just have free time because they know to stay with me, which is awesome. But that's cycling the dog. So it's the same schedule, but you're doing it for potty training. So you just got to know set that marker in your mind. This is when I'm going to take the dog out, so the dog learns over time, hey, these are the times that I go to the bathroom. This is when my owner takes me out. This is when I go to the bathroom. Want some more water time? Oh yeah. Man, it's gorgeous today. Huh? This guy's coming with a big boat. Yeah. All right, come on. Atta girl. So that's kind of potty training. It's a pretty simple idea. Just some dogs it takes longer, but if you're consistent, that's how you do it. And obviously there's wiggle room in there for, like I said, every dog is different, but the main thing is you set a schedule, you use the crate. And that doesn't mean the dog doesn't have time with the family or playtime, but it's structured in everything that you're doing. So playtime is when you decide it's playtime. You take them out, you put a leash on, you have some toys you want to play with, you let them play. And then playtime's done when you say it's done. Make sure they go to the bathroom. They tend to want to relieve themselves after they play. So after they play, take them out or play outside with them. Make sure they go to the bathroom. Bring them back in, put them back in the crate, let them rest. So The crate, my simple phrase for crates is crates are great. If you use them right, they are just a really useful tool. And I still use crates for my own dogs. Because let's face it, there's just times that you got company coming. It's gonna be busy in your house. So she got a correction there. I don't know if I caught it on tape or not. She got perky. I was waiting to see if she would back off on her own, and she didn't. She got too close. So she got corrected with the e-collar and my voice at the same time. So I'm telling her, that's too much. It's too close. Good girl. What was I saying? Oh yeah, crates. Your house is going to be busy. Just make sure the dogs are worked out and put them in their crates. And then nobody's bothering them and they're not bothering anybody else. And I can enjoy my friends and my family. But you don't have to do that. I'm just saying it's totally okay to do that. Your dog doesn't have to love everybody. Your dog doesn't have to, yeah, your dog doesn't have to love everybody. That's okay. I'm gonna do a recall here with Faithful using the tone. Tone. That's good girl. Yes, good girl. Good job, gentle. Good. Break. So whenever we're doing obedience with our dog, we're always giving the command and we're telling them for how long to do that command, and then they get a break from that command. So even something like recall is very simple and fits into that same equation. So I hit the tone, which Faithful knows means to come here, so that's the command. The duration is you just got to come to me, so not very long, couple seconds. And then I gave her a break command, which is you're all done. You came to me, good job. Some people like to do a lot of mixed commands, like recall the dog, have them sit, then give them a treat. I don't do that. I like to just keep it simple for the dog. All I want you to do is come to me. If you come to me, I'll pay you. When I need you to do sits and all that good stuff, that's for later times. That's for when I need that at that moment. But right now, I just need you to come to me. And that's not to say you can't mix those commands later on, but I just see that a lot where people, they're layering commands one on top of the other, and they have like a little puppy, and that can be confusing for the dog. Because really what you ask them to do is come to you. So I tell people that. Do the recall. When they get to you, you pay them. That's what you ask them to do. Whew, man. I was talking about water earlier. I need some water. But man, this is gorgeous today. Nice shady day here in the forest. This trail is so nice. So, if you ever come to me for a board and train, this is actually one of my proving grounds, is this trail. When I think the dog is off leash ready fully, like there's no long line attached to him or anything like that. This is a really good environment for that because there's lots of distractions, but we work up to this point. So let's talk about that while I'm thinking about it. Let's talk about distractions. Distractions in dog training can be really, really minute or really, really big. And you have to know how to work up to those distractions. So if you had a puppy or a 6-month-old dog and you brought him out here, you took him off leash and you were just walking, and you expect the dog to stay with you and not chase after anything or run away, that's asking too much of the dog. Every once in a while, people get a unicorn. I get it. And they're like, I never did anything with this dog and he's great. Well, ride that wave as long as you can, because that is not the norm. Most dogs need a lot of teaching and training. So what we do is we work really small with distractions. So an example of this is if I'm teaching a dog to sit, I'm going to put the dog in a sit and I'm going to pay them for sitting over and over and over again. That's it. That's all I'm doing. And then I'm going to have them sit and I might drop something on the ground next to me and they can't break the sit. And if they do, they get corrected with the leash and I sit back down. It's a very low level distraction. It's not, I'm usually like in the house or in your backyard. You're somewhere where you're not going to get distracted with other things. You can kind of control the environment. And I'll work with the dog there. So the dog learns not to break the sit when I do this distraction. But then I got to up the ante. So then I might get a tennis ball and I might put the dog in a sit and roll the tennis ball on the ground or bounce it on the ground. Right? That's higher level distraction. The dog's probably going to break the sit. Correct? Put him back? Nope. So the dog's learning all these different snapshots of where they need to be obedient. And that's what we're teaching our dogs. No matter what the scenery, snapshot, environment, whatever word you want to use, you have to listen to me. It doesn't matter what you're in. And then you work up to be able to do stuff like this, where, okay, the dog's learned all the basic obedience, it's all learned all the normal distractions. Now I got to get creative with my distractions, right? So I live in Annapolis, so okay, hey, let's go down into town and let's not go to a very busy part of town, but let's go to a part of town where there's still people, there's still other dogs walking around, and let's work on our obedience there. Let's go there, work on our obedience for not long, 10-15 minutes, doing all different things, pack it up in the car, let's go home. We do that till the dog gets used to it. And then we go to a busier part of town, and then, you know, I might have one of my kids like ride a bike past us while we're doing stuff. Like, you just got to get creative with Faithful, all the different stuff you want them used to. And just remember that every new place you go to is a new distraction. So don't be discouraged when you go to a new place and you're like, man, my dog is just not, they seem just like overstimulated. Well, that's a good indicator that, yeah, you're in a new spot. It's a new environment they're not used to, so take a step back, slow it down, work through your obedience in that spot until the dog becomes accustomed to it. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just walking here. I thought this was a trail. Faithful, get me out of here. I don't know where I'm going in life. I see another trail over here. All right, well, that's our walk for today. Hopefully it was useful. A lot of times it's diarrhea of the mind while I'm out here. I'm just thinking dog thoughts and sharing them with you guys. So hopefully it's helpful, and you know, as always, happy training. We'll see you next time.